Hello, everybody. I'd like to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, the Transgender Center of the Rockies, a program of Mile High Behavioral Healthcare. They are this season's Authenticity Ambassador, and we thank them for their support. I would also like to thank our sponsor for this episode, John Spots with La Bakery Sensual, for being this week's Authenticity Advocate. Thank you so much for your support. Check them out at labakerysensual.com. Welcome to Being You, an SPH Productions presentation. My name is Shane Hodges, licensed professional counselor and author of It's Time to Be You, How to Become Your Most Authentic Self. My guest today is Martha Wash, two-time Grammy-nominated singer, actress, philanthropist, and advocate. Thank you so much for being here today, Martha. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Shane. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. Well, I start the show with a rapid fire Q&A where I give you 60 seconds and we see how many quick answer questions we can answer and see what information we learn about you. Are you ready?
Yes.
What was your first car?
Dodge Colt.
Favorite gospel song?
Total Praise.
Best friend in high school?
Charlene.
Do you like camping?
No.
The best decade for music?
70s.
Do you enjoy trying new things?
At times.
What has been your best collaboration to date?
Oh. That's a good question. Luther Vandross.
Ooh, good one. Do you like spicy foods?
At times.
What is your most prized possession?
A ring.
Okay. And we'll do one more. Who is your diva?
Aretha Franklin.
Ooh, nice. Very nice. All right, we got through 10, so not so bad. Well, let's get to know a little bit more about what you do. As I already mentioned, 2 Grammy nominations. You have 5 decades worth of music, including gospel, disco, dance, pop, and club anthems, the 2 Grammy nominations, and 15 Billboard Club Dance Songs #1 hits. Given all of that, what do you see as your greatest professional achievement thus far?
Say probably still being able to do what I do all these many years.
And what age were you when it all started?
Professionally, early 20s.
And how did that come about?
It was when I auditioned for Sylvester. Yeah,
Okay.
that's when it started.
I read something that when you auditioned for him, he asked if you had another big friend. And your initial name for the two of you was 2 Tons of Fun. How did you feel about that name?
I never was the one who coined the name 2 Tons of Fun, but it seemed to stick at the time. And I guess, what's the word? Commercial enough to get people's attention, I'll say.
Gotcha. Well, you of course mentioned auditioning for Sylvester, and you were a backup singer for him in the early years. What was that experience like, or what stands out from that experience?
That was my first foray into the music business, and it was just fun for me. I enjoyed the traveling a lot, and especially going to Europe, things like that. So it was just great for me.
What was one of your favorite venues to perform in or places to visit with the touring?
I loved Italy. And to this day, I still love Italy. I enjoyed the UK because that was almost like a kind of like a second home for us. So I enjoyed that.
Now, did you have a chance to see the Sylvester musical, Mighty Real?
I have not seen it. I've only seen bits and pieces of it, but I haven't had a chance to see the show itself.
Well, going back to the 2 Tons of Fun, that was the initial name. And then you guys switched to the Weather Girls. What led to the change?
Well, it was because when It's Raining Men came out, people assumed that there was a new group out called the Weather Girls. And
Oh.
people who were fans of ours and knew our voices said, no, that's Two Tons of Fun. We were in the middle of making some changes. And when It's Raining Men became a hit, we decided to change record labels. And that's what we
Oh,
did and changed the name to the Weather Girls.
gotcha. So talk to me a little bit about the labels and what stands out for you and or what do you look for in terms of different labels?
I think it's really, really changed over the lower decades.
Hmm.
Really. I mean, you don't have, I don't think you even have as many labels as you used to have. And I think nowadays, the ones that do want to sign you want you, the artist, basically to have everything together. It's like you hand them the, I want to say, full package to
Mhm.
them, as opposed to them, say, working or grooming you like they used to do in the old days. So it's like it's less they have to do with you, but they're still
Mhm.
taking the same amount of money from you, you know.
So what
That's
led you to create your own label?
because I didn't have one. I'm an independent artist. I've been in the business for many, many years, but I'm still an independent artist. That's why I have my own little boutique label.
With your label, what are you hoping that legacy to be?
That I could produce and perform any kind of music that I wanted to. And I may find some other artists that are out
Mhm.
there that are good or up and coming who could have a really bright future in the business and help them along as well, you
Nice.
know. But it's not easy. It's not easy.
I can imagine. Well, going back to the Weather Girls, you mentioned a particular song, It's Raining Men, which became a huge gay anthem. And over the years, you've performed at various LGBTQ plus events. How has that community played a part in your life?
Well, they've always been my number one fan base, which goes all the way back to Sylvester, which is
Hmm.
a great thing. And they've been right there following my music journey, and being able to stick with me is a great thing. And hey, as they say, a lot of my friends are gay folks, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
Nice. I want to ask about Sylvester. What I do is big on authenticity. I wrote a book. That's really what I'm doing the podcast for. And Sylvester was someone who was very much authentic and genuinely himself in a time where that was not very acceptable. What stood out for you in terms of how he did that and how he handled
When we started singing with him, he had already had some notoriety and
it?
had put
Mhm.
out some albums. I believe he had went over to Europe to work and live for a while and came back to the States. And that's how we hooked up with him when he got back to the States. And when Fantasy Records signed him, they weren't, I don't want to say they weren't sure what to do with him, but they had clashes every now and then as to the direction. He would fight it. He would fight it at times and say, look, basically, this is who I am. Take it or, reject it, whatever.
Mhm.
But he felt that he was not going to change for anyone. And at the time, for a openly gay Black man to be
Mhm.
out in the front was really unheard of, although people in the business knew who gay people were. The people who were with him were with him. The fans that loved him loved him. They didn't care.
Well, in addition to the music, you are a philanthropist and a supporter of several groups, some of which are AMFAR, the Foundation for AIDS Research, Broadway Cares, and CUSAC, which focuses on individuals with autism. Why are these organizations important to you, and how did you get involved?
Oh gosh. Sometimes just doing a show for them. That's my way of participating and being a part of something that I like and that I enjoy
Mhm.
being a part of. So over the years, I've done a lot of different events for a
Mhm.
lot of different organizations. As far as AMFAR is concerned, that's been decades, even long before AMFAR became AMFAR.
Okay.
When the AIDS epidemic was really out there in the 80s, there were a lot of grassroots organizations in these different cities that would have events to try and help people pay their bills and try and stay in their homes or apartments. They would have all these different shows and things. And I remember Izora and I doing these shows for years and years in all of these different cities that were trying to take care of their own and make sure that they had medications and a roof over their heads and food to eat. So I've been doing that kind of thing for decades.
Well, another thing that I wanted to touch on was in the 90s, there were some things happening where you were not being credited for being the voice on certain songs, and you pushed for legislation to be changed to make vocal credits mandatory. Talk to me a
Hmm.
little bit about what that was like.
Well, that was more so, I would say, my attorney. He was the one who, I have to give it to it. He's an attorney and he went to court. His name is Stephen Ames Brown. And he was the one who, there was some kind of legislation out there, but the way he argued it made it so wherein the judge said, basically, if you are artist A who is working with another artist, artist
Mhm.
B, then artist B has to be featured as much as artist A.
Okay.
Because usually people just put out music and they have a friend or somebody else on the music with them, but they're not
Right.
necessarily featured in print. I'll put it like
Gotcha.
that,
Okay.
in print.
Yeah.
So whether it's music, whether it's videos or anything like that, artist
Hmm.
B or any how many others there are has to be
Right.
featured just as much as artist
Huh.
A.
Interesting. How did you first find out that your voice was being used and you weren't being acknowledged?
Videos, that's how I found out. I was in hotel rooms channel
Hmm.
surfing and seeing the videos
Right.
on TV. That's basically how it started.
How did you react or how did you feel when that happened?
I was upset because I couldn't believe what I saw and heard. It didn't match.
Hmm. I can imagine.
So yeah, I contacted my attorney and we moved forward from that.
Nice. Well, let's talk a little bit about what's going on with you currently. We've got Music is My Life and It's Raining Queens. Give us a little info on what both of those are and what we've got going on this year.
Well, Music is My Life tour is we're we're in the process of trying to finish up the routing for the show, but other shows will be added later
Okay.
on. It's more so the music that I've recorded over the years, and a few surprises here and there. But as far as being in this business this long and recording just different types of music is something that I've always wanted to do. When I started in this business, I said I never wanted to be pigeonholed into one specific category of music. I hate that. I hate that. People want to pigeonhole you real quick, especially in the music business, because if they can pigeonhole you into one area of music, that's where they think they'll probably make the most money. You know, well, you as an artist, you want to experiment, you want to grow, you want to try this, you want to try that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you don't know unless you try.
Right.
So that's how I look at that. Being able, then that's also why I have the label, because I can record whatever I want to record. I can put it out whenever I want to put it out, the whole thing. So that's how I see that. Just being able to do whatever you want to do.
I like that. And what, if anything else, are we working on or do we have coming up?
Well, with Reigning Queens, it's myself and a fantastic comedian, actress, legend, Marsha Warfield. She is just hysterical. And we're going to go out on the road and make people laugh and make people sing and dance and all that good stuff.
Love it. So let's talk again, several decades that you've been doing this. How do you feel about where you are in terms of age and still doing this and touring and getting out there?
I still like doing it. It would seem like I've slowed down a bit, and that should be okay, doggone it.
Amen.
I'm not 30 years younger, but I thank God I'm still able to go out there and work, and that people still want to see me. So that's a good thing. And getting new audiences, a younger generation, people who are finding out about me, and a lot that don't know my story, but they're finding out about me and coming to the shows and things like that. That's the good thing. Again, I'm still able to do this. And for how long, I'm not sure. But as long as I can, I guess, still put one foot in front of the other and stand on stage and do what I do, I guess I'll keep on doing it.
That's what it's about. Well, what, if anything, professionally is still on your bucket list?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. Maybe do a song at the Grammys or something. I don't know. I have no idea.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing on the professional front. Let's get a little more personal. You were born in San Francisco, correct?
Correct.
Did you grow up there as well?
Yes.
So what was that like, growing up in that area?
It was okay. Yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
With regard to getting into music, were you still there when that started, or what was the music scene like there?
Oh, yeah. I started singing, well, knowing or trying to sing. I started when I was 3 years old. And then
Oh my goodness.
my mother really encouraged me to sing because she loved to sing. She sang in the church choir and sang solos and things like that. So she really encouraged me to sing. And so that's how it progressed all through school, junior high, high school, all of that. I sang in choirs and was able to travel to Europe after high school with my school choir.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So that was wonderful.
Very cool. Where did you guys perform, or what did you do as a choir while you were there?
We sang in churches and we sang in auditoriums. We went to Germany, France, Belgium, and Holland. And so there were different, like little different organizations and little churches and things that we sang at. And it was just great because I'm this teenager in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
in these different countries and things, and walking around saying, wow, never quite thought I'd be here. And
I
I just
understand.
this early, in my life,
Yeah, yeah,
that I would be in Europe, okay, singing. So yeah, that was amazing to me.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, what is something a lot of people might not know about
I'm not telling.
you? That is a valid answer. Well, what are some of the biggest challenges? Excuse me, what are some of the biggest changes you have experienced in your lifetime?
The biggest, the body, the body,
Oh,
the body
I will
that's
say
forgiven.
that, yeah, that is the one part of getting older that I don't always enjoy is the aging of the body. That's
You
hilarious.
know, it's so funny. And I know probably some people are too young out there that are watching and listening and stuff. But look, just just know that as you chronologically advance, it's not for the faint of heart. Okay? I'll put it like that.
I love that. That's great.
I thank God that I am the age that I am. I will tell it I'm 72.
Congrats.
I thank God that I am the age that I am because I'm still here.
Hmm.
Now, people will say, well, God, that's old. Well, you know what? There is an alternative.
Man,
Okay.
right there.
There is an alternative. And if you are blessed to live to be 72 or
Hmm.
older,
Yes.
as again chronologically advance, you will realize and you will hopefully say, I am thankful to be where I
Hmm.
am right now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just the things that say your parents don't tell you. Most of the time, it's what your parents don't tell you because me and my best friend, we just howl about that. It's like, well, mama never told us about this.
Hmm.
Daddy never told us about this. You know what I'm saying? But you
Yeah.
find out about it on your own and you say to yourself, what the hell is going
Yes,
on?
for
That
sure.
kind of thing. But
Agreed. Yeah.
again, again, just remember
Mm,
as you advance, things happen, or
absolutely.
things that are supposed to happen don't happen. But it's
Yes.
all part of advancing
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
still saying, thank you. I'm still here.
Agreed. Well, are there any significant historical moments that stand out from your lifetime?
Yeah. Performing at the White House.
Ooh, nice.
But it was in a strange way. And
Okay.
it was always a dream of mine to be able to perform at the White House. And I always said to myself, hopefully it's for somebody that I like who was in office.
Mhm.
And it wound up being true. It was Hillary Clinton.
Mm,
I get a phone call. Would you like to perform at the White House? Yeah.
right?
Okay. I get the information. By that Friday, I was at the White House. Absolutely
That
blew my
is
mind.
so cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, what challenges would you say you have faced as a Black woman and a Black woman in the music industry?
God. Well, I'll say not just necessarily as a Black woman, but as a large Black woman.
Mm-hmm.
During the time that Izora and I came out as 2 Tons of Fun and was
Mm-hmm.
singing background with Sylvester, you didn't see large Black women as background singers at the time. You do now, but we're talking about the 70s.
Right.
And it didn't dawn on me until much, 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 much later on that the only, I would say, the only large women, Black or white, that were
Mm-hmm.
out there really performing was Mama Cass from the
Mm.
Mamas and the Papas.
Yep.
Now, there were others in jazz and blues, such as Ella Fitzgerald and some of those
Right.
other ladies and things, but out doing pop and dance music and that whole thing,
Yeah.
you didn't see a
No.
large Black woman out there. So
Mm-hmm.
some could say that we were like the first.
And I didn't think about it, but back when you and Azora were with Sylvester and
Sylvester.
traveling,
Yeah.
what, if anything, did you guys encounter in terms of racism in certain areas?
I want to say I don't think we did necessarily, but it could have been a combination of things. Maybe with Sylvester being gay, a Black man, and then two
Mm-hmm.
large Black women with him. It could have been some things could have been some things going on behind the scenes.
How are you enjoying this phase of your life?
It's been God, it's been busy. My manager keeps me busy. Chop, chop, chop. Let's go, let's go.
Now, do
Uh
you like that?
I think well, I'm saying sometimes, wait a minute, hold on. I gotta take a break. I'll get to you when I get to you because I'm doing other things as well.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes it can be a bit much. And if you have insomnia, that doesn't help. I don't have an internal clock and haven't
Same
had one
here.
for decades. So those two, when they come together, it's a mess. It's a
I
mess.
understand. Well, what, if any, hopes do you have for the future outside of professional bucket list items?
Just still keep living because
Nice.
I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and I don't know what's going to
That,
happen around the
amen.
corner. But I just want to be around to see. I want to be able to peek around the corner and see what's going on. you know,
I get that.
anything
Well,
past that, hey, I'll deal with it,
that's all
or
you can
not
do.
deal with it.
Exactly. Well, this brings us to the wow segment of our program, my words of wisdom. I like to ask
Mm.
all of my guests, what, if any, words of wisdom or sage advice do you have for others about being your most authentic self?
Really, just be you. If you don't know who you are right now, that's okay.
Mm,
Keep seeking, keep looking, keep discovering, keep asking questions, and
absolutely.
keep asking questions. And you'll figure out sooner or later who you are or who you aspire to be. It's in the
Absolutely.
journey. Yeah. I mean, it's not at the end, it's in the journey. That's what life is about, the journey. And going back again to being able to live as long as you can and exploring that journey and learning about it and learning who you are, what you're for, what you're against, what you like, what you
Mhm.
don't like, and all of that could change.
Yep.
That's what part of life is the discovery about others and you as well.
Yes, yes. I like
You
your
know,
comment of
I'm
continuing to ask questions because I do
yeah,
that a lot with my clients. Yeah.
absolutely. Ask questions if you don't know, because I'll say this, I still have a hell of a lot more to learn.
Amen.
You know?
Always.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
doesn't stop.
No, no,
It does
it does
not
not.
stop.
So,
No.
well, thank you so much again for being here and for allowing me to get to know a little bit more about you. What, if any, information would you like to share in terms of socials, websites, calendar, etc., so people can find out what's going on with you?
You can go to marthawash.com. Instagram is Martha_Wash14. Facebook is marthawash.com. And just hit me up.
Excellent. Well, again, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you taking the time and allowing me the pleasure to ask you a whole bunch of questions. It's been great getting to know a little bit more about you.
Thank you,
That
Shane.
being
I
said,
really, really appreciate it.
you have a great day. Thank you all for watching. Again, my name is Shane Hodges, licensed professional counselor and author of It's Time to Be You, How to Become Your Most Authentic Selves. Be yourselves and have a great day, everybody. Take care.
Thanks again to the Transgender Center of the Rockies for being this season's Authenticity Ambassador. We appreciate all the work you do. Check them out at transgendercenteroftherockies.org.